Hello everyone and welcome to Kdh Art Class. Today we're going to focus on 1-point perspective using block letters. It's going to show space because you're going to have things that look like they're coming towards you and things that are further away. So there's your space. It's a perspective. And we're also going to be working on our lines to understand those cross contour lines that you're going to need in the future. Okay, so we're going to be touching on our line and our space. We're going to be doing 1-point perspective. We'll do a quick little how to do block letters, and then using those cross contour lines, showing that 1-point perspective going into the vanishing point, which is where everything seems to be disappearing. The T seems to disappear over here, the R disappears, the A, the donut, the star, and the crescent moon. Even these triangles, oh, you can actually see the pencil lines there. Everything is going to that one vanishing point. Now there's 2-point and 3-point and 6-point, and there's all kinds of perspectives, but let's start with one. You're going to need a straight edge. It could be a ruler of some kind. It could be a piece of cardboard. Whatever is nice and straight that you can push on. Be careful when you're using regular paper. It's actually a little too soft. But if you have, like I said, a cereal box or a piece of poster board or cardboard, those will work. I recommend a pencil, a very sharp pencil, even a mechanical pencil. Mechanical pencils are phenomenal when it comes to doing perspective drawings. Guys, if you like perfection and precision, these are your art projects. And lots of erasing is going to be happening. Maybe not so much with this project, but further on down the line. Okay, let's clear this stuff out of the way. Did I mention you need a piece of paper to draw on? Don't forget your piece of paper. Okay, as I get this out of the way, we're going to go ahead and zoom in on our little piece of paper here. And I think I want it to be just a little bit darker. Okay. Let's get started. We're going to use the word art today. You can use your name. You can do anything like this. If you've never done this before, let's start together on this. And once you understand it, you can do any of the words that you want, your name, your parents' name, love, peace. I mean, you can't go wrong with art. You know, all those little sports, wow, pop, zap, onomatopoeias. Yes, I said it, onomatopoeia. That's a word that describes a sound. Zap, pop, buzz, drip, plop, boom, wow, onomatopoeias. Okay, to get started, you're going to use your pencil. I'm going to use marker just because it's just easier that way. I have my piece of paper here. Actually, I have 2 pieces. Ooh, don't want to be wasteful. And art has 3 letters in it. So I'm actually going to start with the middle letter. And I don't always like to go straight on. I like to make it go in a different direction. So that example goes that way. I'm going to do, and I like using uppercase. So here is my R. It's kind of big, right there in the middle. Now, we're going to make it a block letter. All right. So, to make it a block letter, I tell my kids to put a small line. Well, that looks kind of like the black one. So let's do something contrasting that you can see better. That's a little better. Okay. Underneath the little feet. And then you're going to put a dot near the corners. And all you have, whoop, drop your marker. And all you have to do is connect it from there to there, dot to dot, and down here to the little foot. Oh, it's starting to work. I have another corner or angle there. Your math teachers want you to know it as an angle. Okay. I put a dot there, and now I'm going to connect it to the foot. This is a video recording. If I am going too fast, pause the video and get caught up. Okay. All right. So here's another corner over here. So I'm going to put a little dot there. That just gives me something to connect and focus on. And it helps me keep it at the right distance. And the curves, well, they take a little bit more patience. Don't forget the inside. I have two little corners. I'm going to connect it. And then I'm going to follow the curve around to make my inside. And voila! Block letters. Okay. The T, which way did I do that T? I'm going to turn this T just a little bit more this way. Nice and big. Same thing. Except it's got like 3 of these little feet things. 1. Went perpendicular. 2. There's another perpendicular. 3. And then I have these corners, these angles. Remember, the angles get the dots. It almost looks like a little person with ears, eyes, nose, mouth. Okay. Can't help myself. I think like an artist all the time. Connect them. Connect it. And of course, connect it. T is pretty easy. Once you know the secrets. Everything's confusing until you can figure out the patterns and the secrets to it. Then it's not so bad. All right. The letter A. That's kind of small, but it'll work. Right there. It's only got 2 feet. 1, 2. And it's got this point at the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a 3rd one right there. Now I can connect it. Connect it. Whoop. Don't forget the corners or the angles inside the A, and then connect the dots. The middle, corner, angle, corner. There, I said all the words. Connect it, connect it, connect it. All right, so that's basically how to do block letters. Now let's make our 1-point perspective. In order to do 1-point perspective, we need 1 point. For this project, let's put it in this corner. For those that have done this before, you know it can go anywhere you want it to go. But wherever you put that 1 dot, everything's going to go to it. Right now, everything's going to go up into this dot right here. All right. Next thing we need to know. the corners or the angles of our block letters. Now, if I wanted to make this a little bit easier, I could color in my block letters. You do not have to do this. I'm just doing it for teaching purposes. There. Makes it easier to see. Now, let's find the corners of our block letter. Anywhere the line bends, like right there, there's one. There's two on the top. The line bends right here. The line bends right here. The line bends in here, down here, and down there. We're missing three corners. 1, 2, 3. Those are all the dots, or the corners, that are going to have to go to the vanishing point. Now, there is a rule. You cannot go through a letter. Okay, I cannot go through a letter. And everything must go to the vanishing point. So, repeat after me. I will touch the vanishing point every time. I will touch the vanishing point every time. And you cannot go through a letter. I know my Smarties just copied me on that. All right, here we go. I must touch the vanishing point every time. And here is my first corner. Remember, we put that little dot there. I'm going to connect the dot to the vanishing point using my straight edge. My ruler, straight edge, whatever's going to make a nice straight line. I must touch the vanishing point every time. Here's my next dot. But guess what? It's going through a letter. Can you go through a letter? No. So guess what? You don't get to do that one. Skip it. Moving on. Let's find our next dot. There it is, inside. I must touch the vanishing point every time. Can we do that one? No. Let's find another dot. Right there. I must touch the vanishing point every time. But I cannot go through a letter. Can I do this one? No. I must touch the vanishing point every time. You're going to get sick of me saying that, but I want you to remember it. Here's this one. Can we do it? No. Some of you might be able to, depending on how you did your letter A. For example, in this one, I was able to go through it just a little bit. And I was able to use this top corner and that corner. Okay, moving on. I must touch the vanishing point every time. I cannot go through a letter, but I can draw a little bit. So I'm here at this one. And I can go, stop, right there when it touches that letter. So it's touching the vanishing point, but I had to stop. Okay. Must touch the vanishing point. You may or may not be able to do this one, again, depending on your letter. And I have to stop. I must touch the vanishing point, but I cannot go through a letter. Nope. Must touch it. Cannot go through a letter, but I can do just that little line right there. All right, moving on. I must touch the vanishing point, but I cannot go through a letter. I have to stop right there. And the last one, must touch the vanishing point, cannot go through a letter, so I cannot do it. My A is done. Miss Howard, it just isn't looking right. Well, that's because we haven't done all of the letters. We're moving on to this next block letter. Again, you do not need to color it, you just need to understand. We can color it later in the end. All right. Find your corners, your angles. I have one at the top. I have one in the middle. I have another one in the middle. All right. I have one here, on the bottom, inside, inside, on the bottom, on the bottom. Now this has a special rule because we have a curve. Our curve, the part that is the widest, needs to have a dot. So I'm looking for the widest part, and it's actually down here. You see how that's sticking out further than that when it comes to going to the vanishing point. So that's a little tricky one. And we'll go over that one again. All right, I must touch the vanishing point, and I cannot go through a letter. Done. I must touch the vanishing point, but I cannot go through a letter. Nope. I must touch the vanishing point, and this one's going to have to stop. I must touch the vanishing point. Cannot go through a letter. Cannot go through a letter. Let's try down here. Cannot go through a letter. Yours might. Must touch the vanishing point. Cannot go through a letter, so stop right there. Okay. I cannot go through that. Ooh, this one sticking out way out here. See that little dot? And stop. This one cannot go through the letter. And remember that widest part. So you see, where's my pencil that's skinnier? I couldn't put the dot here because it's still sticking out here. See where this curve is? This is the part that is sticking out the most. So that is where I get to do my line. That's looking kind of strange. Let's move on to the T. Again, so we can see our block letter. I'm just going to do a quick coloring here. Find our angles, corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm going faster. You are my intermediate and advanced artists. So you're already catching on to the patterns. All right. Must touch the vanishing point. Cannot go through another letter. Boom. Must touch the vanishing point. Cannot go through another letter. Well, it's kind of bumpy. Terrible job. Cannot do that one. Cannot do that one. Cannot do that one. Cannot do that one. Oh, I can do this one. And I cannot do that one. All right. Congratulations. You have now created 1-point perspective. Intermediate students, this is what you need to work with. You can go ahead and start coloring. But if you want to know a little bit more, advanced students, this is what you need to focus on. If you're going to do something like, let's say you have, because I've done tons of block letters, I know how to do it without the lines in there. The letter C, that's got lots of curves. Well, maybe we could do letter G. That's similar. Those are kind of hard ones. And we can do a funky, my funky little star. He's fun, he's funky, he's a fun and funky star. Let's move it on. Finding our little corners. There, 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 there. Remember the widest part. So must touch the vanishing point. The very last spot I touch is right there. And the vanishing point. And the last spot I can touch is right there. All right. There's your C. And let's go ahead and connect it. Remember, you cannot touch another letter or go through one. And go next to it, obviously, but not touching it. Cannot do that one. Can do that one. I can barely do that one. And that one. And that one. So there's my letter C coming across. Remember, the star has outward angles and inward angles. Don't forget all of those. Right. Most of these we won't be able to do because they're on the wrong side. Cannot go through a letter. You can stop. Can't do that one. Let's touch the vanishing point. That one. That one. Come on, vanishing point, where'd you go? There you go. There you go. Cannot do that one. Cannot do that one. Cannot do that one. Can I do that one just a little bit? Not really. All right. And the G. Corner, 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 corner. And the widest part is right there. That's where it's touching. Vanishing point. Come on, vanishing point, where'd you go? There you are. There. Can't do that one. Let's see. I'm gonna do a tiny little line there. That one stand out. Stand out. Okay. All right. Okay, so those are some of the more bizarre ones and harder ones to do. Feel free to create as many as you like. Like I said, my advanced students, I challenge you to add your cross contour lines. Bend it to match the letter. So, what does that mean? That means the A. See this diagonal right there? All of your lines need to go with that same diagonal. And you can go all the way down or not. Just a couple just to practice. But look at this line right here. It's almost up and down. So these lines are going to be up and down. Yeah, don't forget the bottom right there. I'm going to change colors so you can see it better. Sure. That one actually goes this way. Interesting, huh? Guess what's going to happen inside your A? It's going to match that diagonal right there. The R has a curve, so this one's going to be a little more challenging. So I have no way of really showing you. Here's the curve. We change colors. We'll go with the green. So here's the curve right there. So I'm going to follow that curve until I bump into the line. Follow that curve until I bump into the line. Follow that curve until I bump into the line. So that one's a little more challenging. This one, you have a little bit of a curve this way, so I'm going to follow the curve a little bit up. And you have the line right here, straight up and down, but that teeny tiny little area there, up and down. Guess what's happening on the leg? You have an up and down line, up and down. So don't get confused. Here's a diagonal. See the diagonal there? Doing your diagonal in that direction. The T, we're going in this direction right here. So you're going to want to do your lines in this direction this way until you get to this direction. Let me change colors. You have that diagonal right there. So you're going to do your diagonals this way. And change colors. You have the bottom part of your T. You're going to want to do your diagonals this way. Again, doing these lines, that's bonus. That is like above and beyond. Because then you're going to have to kind of transfer it over. Curves where it's curved. Straight where it's straight. horizontal where it's horizontal. And then don't forget the curve on the inside. Diagonal. Horizontal. This one's almost vertical. Got a little bit of a diagonal there. Can't see that one. And moving back to the horizontal. For the star. And see, and what this is going to do, this is going to take you further on your 1-point perspective than just simply doing the lines. This is great for intermediate. This is going that extra mile for the advanced, adding these lines in the correct direction. Good luck, have fun, and create beautiful, wonderful artworks. Bye.